Hi everybody, Elizabeth here with Country Peony and welcome to episode 40 of Coffee and Crafting. I am so excited to have you here, and today is going to be a little bit different because today I want to show you my office, kind of the design behind it, where I source the pieces, and then just some fun tips and tricks I've learned along the way. So I'm so excited to have you here. Coffee and Crafting is a weekly craft show here on Facebook where I normally feature a fun DIY that you can do in less than 30 minutes. And today's a little different because we're not going to be doing a DIY, but honestly, this was a DIY project for me. So I wanted to show it to you. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them as they come in. So today, to get started, before I create any sort of design plan, the inspiration almost always is from a picture or something that I saw in nature, but I'm pulling the colors from that. And that's exactly what happened with this Lindsay Letters print that's behind me. This is called the Milk Glass Floral. It is one of my favorite prints. It is actually, I've had it for years. I had it in my home office before I moved to the studio. I've had it over the mantle, and now it sits beautifully here in my office setting. And so that's always the beginning of the design process. And the reason behind having an office space here in the studio was because I honestly, beforehand, I was doing all my administrative tasks on my crafting table, which if you know anything about me, I'm not a clean crafter. I'm actually a really messy crafter, which I've learned that's totally fine. And so my crafting table is a disaster almost all the time. I think that's part of the process. You kind of play with something, come back to it, and go forth. So I needed a designated space to just create, to get organized, to, send emails, and honestly just to clear my head so I can kind of daydream a little bit. So this is a really fun one. I'm really excited to show you today my office area. So the inspiration came from this Lindsay Letters Milk Glass Floral print. And if you have any questions, I've linked my blog post below with all of the resources, as well as I've also got, you can shop this post in the links below as well. So let's take you around. So we're going to come around here to the office area. I'm going to kind of show you this fun area right now. Let me make sure that I get you situated. Okay. So this is a really fun moment happening here. The inspiration came from this Lindsay Letters print. And so from there, I knew I wanted a big statement piece. This is a big wall, and I honestly wanted to stay organized. And so I thought, why not make it pretty and functional? And so what I did was I purchased this wall calendar off of Etsy, and then I added the IKEA Riba frames, which were super inexpensive. And that then allows it to be dry erase. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I can then draw all of my ideas on here. Like you can see, it is so cool. And then if I want, I can kind of wipe it away. And the beauty with this is it's beautiful, but I'm constantly changing my mind. I don't feel so stuck on a certain idea. And the great thing is I can use this year after year, which is honestly the best part. And because obviously you can change the dates on it and so forth. So let's keep going. So again, here is the Lindsay Letters print. And now I'm going to show you my fun desk area. Okay. So we're going to come back over here, and I'm going to push this down so you can kind of see what's going on here. So this desk itself came from Kirkland's, and I also have it linked in the blog post if you want to check it out. But I love to create special moments and details, and I love vintage inspiration. And so I have these beautiful coffee table books. And then what I did was I took my vintage ladyhead vase, which I love so much, and I'm using it to hold my markers for my calendar. And I want to show that to y'all because it brings me so much joy. I already had it, and it's just a great pencil holder instead of using like a cup or something else. And then last week I talked all about floral frogs. You know that I love them so much. And so I picked my biggest floral frog and I added some fun pens and some fun scissors. And this sits beautifully on my desk on top of my creative books. And so these will change as I go along. So if I'm looking for inspiration, I will pull these out of my desk and I can look at them. Okay, so let's go on to this area, which is where my beautiful cash register is. Okay, so you may remember that in Round Top in the spring, I'd been looking for a cash register for a really long time because the studio used to be a general store, and so I thought it would be perfect to have a spot for that here. And so I found this for a steal. So this is not the original, but this is still from the 80s, so it is vintage. And it works so beautifully. And that's my favorite part. It makes me so, so happy. So it fits so beautifully here. Does it take up space? Yes, but it's almost a decor piece. And every time my kids come in, this is the first thing that they go to. I think it's just a really cool and beautiful piece. And this sits on top of my pink filing cabinet, which obviously a filing cabinet in an office area is essential to hold all of your important files. But I had to make it cute, and so I bought this really adorable pink one. Okay, so now we're going to move over here to this adorable little floral lamp. So if you've been following for a while, I've had kind of the design idea for a while for this area. And on there, I had this adorable Anthropologie floral lamp. Well, two things. The lamp is not available anymore. And the second, it was really expensive. And so I DIY'd this lamp. This is actually an IKEA floral lamp. And then all I did was I took some crepe paper and I cut it into big petals. This is 2 layers. And I used some wire and I attached it with some glue down the center. And then I bunched it together and I glued it to the lamp itself. I've had this for over 6 months. It's holding up really well. And it's also just really, really cute. If you want to see the full tutorial for this, I've got it here on my Facebook page as a small short video. So then we're going to move over here to this adorable little setup. And as I mentioned, I'm like into details. I love tiny little vignettes. They make me so happy. And so I'm going to showcase this adorable moment I've got going on here. So this cart, honestly, I fell in love with this cart. And I knew it had to be somewhere here in the studio, so I waited until it was on sale. As you can see, it's got these gorgeous scallop details. And I knew this would be the perfect spot for, I'm going to be switching it out, but right now it holds this vintage typewriter that I love so much. And then just a sweet vase by my friend Reese. And I can also see myself putting my Cricut machine here and putting some fun vinyl down here. I haven't quite decided yet what I'm going to do with that. But it's really cute, and it just kind of adds to the area. And I want to continue down here because I wanted to show you this adorable rug. My rug is really cute. So there's so much going on up here that I thought it needed a nice grounding space. And so I purchased this scalloped rug on Etsy, and I like it because it's got the beautiful pink edging. And then also I wanted to showcase this cute little planter. So I got this thrifting. I think I paid like $5 for it. But I love using planters for trash cans, especially in visible spaces like this that are really pretty. So I'm going to pull this up so I can talk a little bit more to you. But that's one of my tips. So I wanted to give you a couple of tips. The first is that honestly shop your home. So that's what I did here. The chair is something that I owned already. And instead of purchasing a brand new chair or finding something else, I just shopped my home and I decided to use this office chair. The other thing is that if you're wanting to stay on budget, I definitely recommend thrifting. So I talk about thrifting all the time. I love it because it's great for the environment and it's also really, most of the time, really inexpensive. And these pieces have such beautiful stories to them, things that you can't find at a big box store. So I use quite a few thrifted pieces. My ladyhead vase, my floral frog, my cash register, and my trash can are all thrifted. And I just think that's really sweet. It's a sweet way to add some character to your space. And the beauty is you're really never done. You can continue to look for pieces and, add things as they come. I know this space will evolve as I use it and as I find more pieces, but right now I'm really, really happy with it. And the other thing that I wanted to recommend is that when designing any space, and honestly this goes for life, this goes for crafting projects, it goes for anything, don't be afraid to pivot. So there have been a couple of times when I had a different vision for this back wall and it just wasn't feeling right. And so I'd walk away, literally, I would walk away, go on a walk, or I would sleep on it and then I'd come back with a fresh perspective. I think that is such an important skill to start to work on for anything in life, but particularly design, and it really helped me with the design of my office. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I love my office so much. I think it's so cute. It makes me so happy, and it honestly makes me want to sit down and get organized, which that's amazing, right? So if you missed any of this today, don't worry. In the description below, I've got the full blog post with all the details. I also have a link to everything here in my office area. And if you ever have any questions, please let me know. I'm always happy to answer them for you. Thank you again, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you next Monday for a fun DIY here on Coffee and Crafting. Y'all have a great week. Thank you guys.